The MCI Center in our nation's capital, normally home to the Wizards and Mystics of Pro Ball and the NHL's Capitals. But this evening, a stage for America's up-and-coming young stars as we get set for the Jordan Brand Capital Classic featuring the nation's top athletes here on Fox Sports Net. Hi, folks. Glad you're with us tonight. Steve Buckhands with Glenn Consor. A glimpse into the future, a very enticing game. A lot of these kids you've never heard of, but in just a few short years, they'll be household names.
And household names like Jason Kidd and, of course, Grant Hill. Magic and Michael have ended their high school careers playing in the Jordan Brand Capital Classic, and we can expect to see a lot of these young men meet the NBA maybe a lot sooner than we think.
The red team against the white team tonight. The red team led by J.J. Reddick of Roanoke, Virginia, who just might well be the best long-range shooter in the nation.
Well, J.J. Reddick is one of these guys that could play the transition game, but he's the best outside shooter to come out of high school since Chris Mullin. He's one of these guys that runs the floor, but he's got great range. He can take you off the bounce. He knows how to use screens, and he's one of these guys that really is a leader as well. Not often do you see a 6'5" shooting guard lead teams. This young man does it.
The white team led tonight by Mr. Basketball in the state of Florida, Amare Stoudamire, and he is a good one.
He certainly is. Rumors are flying around that this young man might just bypass the college game and go right into the NBA. He's a tremendously physical player, 6'8", 240 pounds, runs the floor, really gets up. Not a great feel for the game, but his physical presence inside is unstoppable. Amare Stoudamire was Mr. Florida out of Orlando, which reminds me of a young man by the name of Darryl Dawkins, who was also left the high school ranks and went right into the NBA. I expect him maybe to follow.
Most of these kids have picked their schools. There are some undecided, but boy, a banner year recruiting once again for the ACC.
Well, the ACC, you know, big-time players go to big-time conferences, and the rich always seem to get richer. Reddick obviously going to Duke along with Thompson and Randolph. Those three guys, of course, Garrison and Gilchrist to Maryland, North Carolina picking up Sean May and McCants. Those teams are very happy right now getting these young men.
The best players in the nation are on display here tonight in our nation's capital for the Jordan Brand Capital Classic, and it's coming up next right here on Fox Sports Net.
Now making a collect call can make you a winner. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect call, and you can win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race. Just accelerate down the center with 1-800-CALLATT.
20 lucky participants can be matched with starting positions in a Winston. If your driver finishes in the top 3, you're going to win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race of your choice. And every collect call you make with 1-800-CALL-ATT is another chance to become a winner.
Cheater!
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
Escape. It's the right idea and the right deal. Especially now with $1,000 cash back. Escape at your Ford dealer.
I can't go more than a few hours without a cigarette.
I can't go more than a few feet without the oxygen tank.
I tried to stop, and I put on 5 pounds.
I've lost 25 pounds.
I have trouble getting out of bed without a smoke, man.
I have trouble getting out of bed.
No, I don't think I can quit.
I don't think I can operate.
This Fox Sports Net presentation of the 29th Annual Capital Classic is brought to you in part by Jordan Brand. 1-800-CALL-ATT. The U.S. Navy. And by finger weights. Our national anthem in Washington, D.C. Tonight's Fingerweight starting lineup. Brought to you by Fingerweights. The red and the white teams on display here tonight. McKinney, Brown, Johnson, Anthony, and Adams for the red team. Igoudola, May, Stoudamire, Jack, and McCants for the white team. The red team, coached by Maurice Hicks from Rice High School in Manhattan. And the white team, the home team, headed by Stephen Smith from Oak Hill Academy in Mouth of Wilson, Virginia. Well, joining us tonight for sideline reporting is former University of Maryland great Adrian Branch. Let's go to him now.
Thank you, Steve. It's going to be a good one. I played 21 years ago with Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing. These guys have their game face on. It's going to be entertaining. Back to you guys.
Well, we know it'll be a run and gun game, but we have the best talent in the country on display. Steve Buckhantz with Glenn Consor. We know these kids can run up and down. We saw many of them in the McDonald's game in New York. And when you look at these kids, Glenn, they don't appear to be headed for college. They appear to be in some sort of a league that may be just shy of the professional ranks.
Well, you know, the evolution of these kids starting in the AAUs and moving up and just playing so many games during the course of the year, lifting weights. These guys are just tremendous athletes. As we take a look at the officials.
Jackie Lube, Dwayne Gladden, and Earl Ladden.
Guys have been around for a long time. But you know what, Buck? These players have such a privilege playing in this tournament because the Jordan Brand Capital Classic really links the Nike Jordan division with the nation's top high school basketball talent. And the bottom line is that the benefits, the proceeds, benefit the Children's National Medical Center, Children's Hospital. So this is just a fabulous event for everybody, the community, and especially these kids.
Well, Jordan, like everything else he does, has stepped in and raised the level of the competition here, and the way this game is displayed, and it is a good one. McCants hit the first shot, And a turnover as the white team comes down on the second.
You know, the interesting thing about the Jordan Brand Classic, it's the first time that MJ has put his name on a high school all-star game. So obviously, you know, his feelings, him playing here as a high school senior, this game really means a lot and has blossomed into the top high school all-star tournament in the nation.
In and out on the jumper, and the rebound to Amare Stoudamire. Garrett Jack pushes it up. Sean May nails it. Sean May, who's headed to the University of North Carolina, the forward from Bloomington North High School in Bloomington, Indiana.
Under some controversy, Buck, because his dad was Scott May, who played for and starred for Indiana, actually was on that undefeated team in '76, and obviously a lot of people thought he was going to follow his dad, and as you see Jarrett Jack on his way to Georgia Tech.
Jarrett Jack, whose favorite player is Stephon Marbury, who of course went to Georgia Tech.
I thought you were going to say his favorite player was Sean May, which in this game it might be if he keeps giving him the ball.
Jack again, 3-on-1, gives it up inside, and a foul is called as Sean May went to the basket. Sean May, who averaged 21 points a game and 13 rebounds in high school, and goes to the free throw line. Here's another look.
Well, the thing about Sean May is he's got very soft hands, and he runs the floor nicely. You see Jack with a little dipsy doodle pass inside. Good catch by May, who at 6'8", about 250 pounds. He might just have to play the 5 spot, the center spot for Carolina, although he's got some real good power forward skills inside. Really tough inside.
May, McDonald's All-America. He's already been named Indiana Basketball News Player of the Year. And this past summer, played in the prestigious USA Basketball Olympic Festival in Colorado Springs.
He's deadly from 8 feet and in. Again, he's got the soft hands. He's got some terrific jump hooks. Could use either hand. Obviously, when you have your dad being Scott May, that also helps. You know, he was pounding on for a couple of years.
And the white team is out to an 8-0 lead over the red. Three-point shot is missed. And the rebound is Stoudamire, who has made his presence felt on the boards early. Amare Stoudamire off the glass. He got pushed, no call. Rebound inside, and the follow slam by Stoudamire. Amare Stoudamire, who has committed to Memphis, but he's pretty much made it be known that he'd like to play pro ball, and we'll just have to wait and see if that is indeed where he's headed.
And that is the rumor, Buck, that he might in fact make an announcement soon after this game of what his decision's going to be. And you know what, if he's a top 10 pick, which is what he is hearing, he might in fact go. And obviously when you have the type of skills this young man has and strength, and Stoudamire is one of these guys that is just so terrific inside, strong, uses his body well, he gets up. He's really a physical specimen for only being 19 years old.
Stoudamire with 2 points and 4 rebounds in the game. And we've only played 2 minutes and 15 seconds. 4 12-minute quarters. Jimmy McKinney. Now they swing it left side.
Easy.
Carmelo Anthony. Anthony with a nifty move, and he draws a foul. See if they give him 2. And it looks like they will. Carmelo Anthony at 6'7", 210. One of the many great players to go to Oak Hill Academy, although he is from Baltimore and went to Towson Catholic prior to going to Oak Hill.
And Buck, he's a great story. 4 years ago, he was a point guard on the JV at Towson Catholic. He had a monumental growth spurt, grew to 6'8", and kind of developed into a Scottie Pippen type player because he can handle the basketball at 6'8". He's strong, great hops, and everybody's making a big deal about Stoudamire, as we all should. But this young man, Carmelo Anthony, can do it all. Might be the best player in the nation.
Turnaround is up and in by Stoudamire. 4 points for Stoudamire, who played at Cypress Creek High in Orlando. Anthony for a three-pointer. Carmelo Anthony, who led Oak Hill in scoring and shot 45% from three-point range.
And Anthony had 36 points on LeBron James. That's the junior that everyone's talking about, would like to play in the NBA and might be the best player in the nation. Well, when he went up against Carmelo Anthony, had his hands full.
Anthony handles the ball the other way. Great pass inside, and the lay-in from D. Brown. Spectacular play.
Unbelievable ball handling skills by Anthony, who's 6'8", folks. That is not a 6'2" guard. He's 6'8", 6'9", and strong.
May takes the jumper and hits. 5 points in the game for May. And at the other end, answered by Hassan Adams.
Adams is on his way to Arizona. A terrific combo guard. He can handle the ball. He leaps. Blue collar guy, really rebounds.
Nice finger roll from Rashad McCants, who has 5 points. And before that shot goes up, traveling is called. And we'll see 5 new players for the red team. And substitutes are made. And Stephen Smith from the white team will get some subs in as well. 8:01 to go. And full substitutes come in as Stoudamire and May get a rest. Actually, May will stay in the game, but Stoudamire will come out, and now we're set. The red team has hit 3 of 8 field goals. They started 0 for 5, but they made all 3 since then, and the white team 7 of 10 from the field.
This is John Gilchrist on his way to Maryland. I love this young man, Buck, because of his ability and his presence on the floor. 6'2", he really gets in the lane, does a terrific job, and he's going to do a terrific job for Gary Williams next year.
And with 7:49 to go in the first quarter, a timeout with the white team on top of the red, 16-9, the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
I'm bored.
How you doing, little man?
I want to go home, but my big brother's too busy flirting with girls.
Not exactly what you had in mind for fun, huh? Now, when you want to get home, always remember to dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. You can save on every call. Just dial right down the center, 1-800-CALLATT. You know the boy's car is really a skateboard, right? Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. It's free for you and cheap for them.
If you smell the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. Can't stop the rock. Brings you inside the ring.
The people's elbow. Rock bottom. Rock bottom.
Outside the arena.
From coast to coast. Wisconsin to China.
And behind the scenes.
The character of the Scorpion King is most kick warrior.
Go one-on-one with the great one in The Rock. Just Bring It. Premiering Wednesday, April 3rd, and all month long on Dish On Demand.
Dish Network prides itself in quality customer service. And another way you can get great customer support is on our website, dishnetwork.com. Just click on support and select My Account. Then follow the prompts to review your account. Upgrade programming, pay your bill, and more. Get secure and convenient customer service. It's online at dishnetwork.com.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
White team led by Amare Stoudamire's 4 points and 5 rebounds leads the red 16-9. And we check in with Adrian Branch, who's standing by with a guy very familiar to him, DeMatha head coach Morgan Wooten.
That's right. I'm as proud as a peacock here. Coach, you're one of the founders of this game way back in 1974. Tons of players, Travis Garrison out here. What about tonight? How do you feel?
Well, I'm excited because to see the Jordan Brand get his name on it makes it bigger and better than ever, if that's possible.
In our year.
And that's right. And, you know, of course, Jordan was one of the great high school players to play in this classic. So I'm excited. It's a great night for basketball in Washington.
Coach, you're always a gentleman, class act, the winningest coach in the history of high school basketball. Thank you, Coach.
Great to be with you, Adrian.
Back to you guys.
All right, Adrian, and a member of the Hall of Fame, and he's right, one of the classiest, nicest men you'll ever know, and most successful high school coach of all time. Corner shot is blocked inside. Rebound and up and in by Garrison.
That was great. Greg Bruner blocked the shot of Horner, and he might apologize later because they're both going to Iowa next year. Play for Steve Alford.
Foul is charged to Jeff Horner. Red team has some subs in. Justin Gray, J.J. Reddick, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Here's Gray. Nice pass underneath to Reddick, who fires and hits.
See, that's Reddick's game. Buck, that's Reddick's game. He moves without the ball. So he saw his teammate penetrate. He moved to an open spot. That's a sign of a great shooter. And I mentioned in the show earlier that Reddick reminds me a little bit of Chris Mullin, how Chris Mullin played coming out of high school. Very similar. Didn't have a bad pro career either. Also played in this game.
Gilchrist with a nice pass underneath, and a foul is called as Denham Brown went up for the shot. And they called the foul on Greg Bruner.
And Buck, Denham Brown is a great story out of Canada, who a lot of people feel in the basketball world might be the best player ever to come out of Canada and play high school basketball. Had 111 points in a high school game. Imagine that.
That's
111. So that means when he scores 80, you know, an off night.
That's right. Foul called on the play, and Garrison will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Travis Garrison, another guy that's headed to Gary Williams' program at Maryland.
Obviously, with the departure of Lonnie Baxter, they're going to need his toughness and inside presence. A terrific rebounder, as is Evan Burns going to UCLA.
And there's Garrison to put it up and in. McDonald's All-America from DeMatha High. Averaged 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks a game for Morgan Wooten. 22-11, white team in front of the red. And the slam inside by Kalina Azubuike. Tulsa, Oklahoma. And just committed to Kentucky recently. Gilchrist shot is blocked and picked up by Bruner. Nice pass. They can't convert. Gilchrist the other way, behind to Garrison, and he missed it. Oh! Trying for the interception.
How about that hustle by Jeff Horner on his way to Iowa at a Mason City High School. You know, you think a lot of these All-Star games and the Jordan Brand Classic, these guys are going hard.
Nearly on his way to a stretcher. Went over the scorer's table. And Jeff Horner appears to be okay. Running shot no good. But very physical inside. A lot of grabbing. Letting them play. Garrison blocked. Blocked underneath. Michael Thompson. Three-point field goal is good from Justin Gray, who's headed to Wake Forest.
How about the block buck by Bruner inside? Only 6'7". You know, he doesn't really look that athletic, but he just kind of gets it done. Greg Bruner defensively from Charles City High School in Charles City, Iowa. Another guy going to play for Steve Alford. Boy, they're drilling him in. Denham Brown.
Denham Brown from Hill High in Toronto. And as you mentioned, to be called the greatest player in the country.
Well, you know, Buck, he's another one of those guys, those 6'5", 6'6" that Jim Calhoun likes to recruit to UConn, along with Rashad McCants. Denham Brown's going to make some big noise, and they've had some pretty good 6'5", 6'6" guys by the name of Ray Allen and, of course, Rip Hamilton, who you're very familiar with.
Plays for the Washington Wizards on this very home floor. A foul was called, and the red team will regain control. It's the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net.
You see Herman Hareed, who is on that Final Four Syracuse team, assistant coach here, red team.
Horner slams it in. And Jeff Horner to Iowa. First team All-State defensive back as well on the football team at Mason City High School, and plays baseball and track as well.
4 Letterman for his high school.
3:51 to go. Nice pass underneath, and Reddick misses the layup. Brown the other way.
Well, now you can see how he has scored 111 points in a game. Although I'd like to get a tape of that game and see that myself.
Go. Hey, D. Brown.
5 points for Brown. Justin Gray pulls up and misses. Bruner gets a hold of the rebound, goes all the way, runs over a player with no call. Right to Reddick for 3, a little short. Boy, they've been a terror on the glass. As Aaron Spears scores from Dunbar High in Chicago, and he'll go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play.
And Aaron Spears, Buck, is a great story. You know, a lot of times these types of games, the All-Star games, are set after a junior year. Well, this young man really blossomed his senior year. A lot of improvement from his junior to his senior year, and usually by the time you enter your senior year, you know you're going to play in these postseason All-Star games. This man really wasn't expected to play in any of these things. Right now he's undecided, but he turned into the best big man, high school big man in Chicago.
He's thinking about Illinois, Iowa, Miami, and Oklahoma as his top choices. 2:56 to go in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor with the white team leading the red 29-18. You're watching the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
And as they left the body behind, they heard.
Need to make a collect call? Oh, it's not scary if you use 1-800-CALL-ATT. Just dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them.
Save on every call. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
What a great story.
Thanks. Have you guys heard the one about phone hands? Ah! I'm going skinny dipping. Ah! Lifeguard! Help! Lifeguard! I'm drowning! Help me!
Around here, things aren't always what you'd expect. Like the redesigned 2002 Mercedes-Benz M-Class. It costs a lot less than you'd think and comes with rescheduled maintenance.
I think when you look at the NFL Europe, the one thing you're going to see is that they're playing to win. It's going to be very competitive. You know, a lot of times people talk about money being the motivator, but really it isn't. You know, people that play this game are playing it for the pride. Whether you're playing in the National Football League, you're playing in NFL Europe, you know, you get down to the championship game, you're seeing guys lay it on the line. And I think that's what it's about.
Frankfurt battles Barcelona, Saturday on Fox Sports Net. It's a possible conference finals preview. Chris Webber and the Run and Gun Kings are out to prove they're the team to beat out west. But Shaq and the Lakers know that the road to the crown still goes through LA. The NBA's best battle it out. Kings-Lakers, Wednesday at 7. Every move, every story. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6.
It was back in 1997 when Elton Brand nabbed MVP honors for the U.S. squad when he scored 22 points. The Blue Devils' Shane Battier and William Avery were there as well as the U.S. Stars beat the Capitals 112-101. Avery tied Brand with a game-high 22 points. On the other side of the ball, the Capital All-Star most valuable player was Ruben Boomche. The Georgetown standout controlled the backboards, tossed in 11 points. Fellow Hoya Anthony Perry and University of Maryland greats Juan Dixon and Terrence Morris making strong contributions as well. The U.S. Stars beating the Capitals 112-101 that year.
Boy, those 5 guys really had just terrific careers in college. Juan Dixon, MVP of the NCAAs, on his way to the NBA.
29-18, the white team ahead of the Reds. Steve Buckhantz with Glenn Kotsor and Adrian Branch at the MCI Center as Shavlik Randolph hits, a very special player, and he's headed to Duke.
A lot of people feel that he's going to be the heir apparent to Mike Dunleavy with a similar type game. Buck, 6'9", puts it on the floor. You see he can make threes. Very skilled in the post as well. He's like a swing 4 type player because he's so versatile.
Gracie Wright is in the game, and a foul is called. I believe they got Amare Stoudamire. Correction, Jeff Horner is called for the foul.
You know, you talk about Shavlik Randolph, Buck. The thing that really you constantly hear about that young man is that he's a gym rat. He's constantly working on his game. 6'10" gym rats.
You love them.
Those are some big ones.
Those are some big rats. You need big traps for them. That last foul, by the way, was called on Stoudamire, his first personal. Stoudamire trying to save it in. And they'll give it to the red team. 2:08 to play here in the first quarter. Stolen away by McCants, and he lands out of bounds, and again the red team will get the ball, and I think a foul was called. They did call a foul on Anthony. Here's another look.
It looked like Anthony might have bumped him on this play as he goes up. A little bit from behind, not much.
Nice
looks like he got it.
Effort by McCants to come down with it. Here's Jarrett Jack. Long shot by Sean May, and he drills it. A 3-pointer from Sean May, headed to UNC. He averaged 21 points and 13 rebounds in high school in Indiana. He's got 8 points tonight. D. Brown, Gracie Wright. Nice move down low by Randolph. It's knocked away and out of bounds. Given to the red team with 13 seconds. Chris Rogers drives and gets fouled as he goes to the glass. And they called it on Andre Igoudola. And that's the second personal on Igoudola, sending Rogers to the line to shoot a pair. Rogers, who's headed to Arizona, played his high school ball at Wilson High in Portland, Oregon. Leading scorer in the state, the most talented conference. And can take his defender off the dribble with ease, but he can also pull up from just about anywhere for the jumper.
He averaged about 26 points a game. Real strong kid, good quickness, good first step by this young man. He's going to have a chance to play with Jason Gardner and Luke Walton next year at Arizona.
And equally impressive off the court, Glenn, where he is a 4-year honor roll student with a 3.4 grade point average.
Man, getting it done.
Stoudamire inside, no call, try to get the rebound, and they'll give it to the white team.
I really like the way that Jarrett Jack runs a ball club on his way to Georgia Tech next year. At a Worcester Academy, had played 1 year at Mount Zion Academy. Does a nice job of playing fast, playing slow, and in Paul Hewitt's up-tempo style of play at Georgia Tech, I think Jarrett Jack's going to flourish. Good recruit.
Sean May has been impressive here, has 10 points in the period with just under a minute to play. Great pass inside by Igoudola. Stoudamire gets it back. Amare Stoudamire, Mr. Basketball in Florida, was named one of 8 juniors to watch after last season by USA Today, and he lived up to every expectation as a senior.
And the interesting thing is he had to sit out his junior year because he had bounced around to a number of different high schools. And he really didn't miss a beat when he came back this year, putting up some big numbers.
Stoudamire has 6 points and 5 rebounds, and a foul call will send the red team to the line. Red team coached by Maurice Hicks, Rice High in Manhattan.
He was a great player too. He played at Rice High School.
Assisted by Floyd Irons from Vashon High in St. Louis and Ed Azam of Westchester High in LA.
And Maurice Hicks actually was recruited from Rice High School to play at Loyola, Maryland, which is only about 50 minutes from here, Buck, by Bill Burke, who actually coached me at Boston University 100 years ago.
Ball stripped away. Showtime coming for Anthony, and he slams it in. Carmelo Anthony, who led Oak Hill in scoring. 6'7", 210 pounds, and he's got 7 points in the quarter.
Boy, think about that high school team. Carmelo Anthony, Chad Moore, and Justin Gray on the same high school team.
Tip in by Stoudamire at the buzzer, and Stoudamire finishes the quarter with 8 points, while May had 10. And after 1 period of play in Washington, the white team leads the red 38-25 at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Honey, my car won't start. Bye. I just spilled coffee all over my boss. Okay, I just lost a heel. That's it. I'm going home.
No matter what, you're crazy about your girlfriend. So why not make every day special with beautiful flowers? Or add a little sweetness with this bear in a bee suit with honey candy. And celebrate right with our birthday flower cake.
Thank you. I love them.
So give someone special something special from 1-800-Flowers.com. Call, click, or come into 1-800-Flowers.com.
Moo. For an incredible bargain on a computer, just call 1-800-GATEWAY. Because right now, you can get a Gateway 300LE desktop fully loaded with an Intel Celeron processor, CD burner, and a monitor, all for just $599. That's right, a Gateway computer with a CD burner and a monitor for just $599. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. So call 1-800-GATEWAY today. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
It's a possible conference finals preview. Chris Webber and the Run and Gun Kings are out to prove they're the team to beat out west. But Shaq and the Lakers know that the road to the crown still goes through LA. The NBA's best battle it out. Kings-Lakers, Wednesday at 7.
The red team has committed 8 turnovers, the white 5 here with 8:50 to go in the second quarter.
You know, usually during the Jordan Brand Capital Classic, there's a number of college coaches that are here watching their recruits and watching their signees, Buck, but this is the blackout period, which actually ends tomorrow.
What a shot by Gilchrist. He lost his footing, threw it up, a prayer, and it was answered. McKinney at the other end scored the field goal, and he'll go to the line.
Don't you love the way Gilchrist gets into the paint and penetrates, and his ability to finish? You know, he's coming to Maryland as a penetrator and as someone who could dish the basketball, but as you can see, he can also finish, and he's strong. Took about 5 hits going up on that one. And McKinney came back and had a nice finish as well.
So McKinney to the line, going to Missouri. He'll play for Cap Classic alum Quinn Snyder. Might be one of the most underrated players in the country. He's been dominant over the past 2 years on an exceptional high school team, Vashon High School in St. Louis, Missouri.
And they're going to expect him to score next year, especially with Kareem Rush this week declaring eligibility for the NBA draft.
Jeff Horner pumps in a three-pointer. Horner, who's listed at guard, but he plays all over the court. 6'2", 185. He's got 5 points. Nice move baseline. Unable to convert. Gilchrist the other way. They run 3-on-2. Garrison, and it doesn't go, but he's fouled on the play. Boy, the transition game thrilling the crowd at MCI Center.
Gilchrist threw about 5 fakes before he threw this basketball. Watch this. Little fake with the right hand. It looked like one of those Three Stooges movie where he's throwing the right hand up and you're watching the right hand, he hits you with the left.
The only thing he didn't do going to the basket was whoop, 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 whoop.
That's a good curly. I like that.
Thank you.
Why I oughta.
Garrison having a terrific first half with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Horner comes out of the game along with Gilchrist and Brown. Burns exits as well. And it looks like Garrison will come out after this free throw.
You know, talking to a number of the basketball gurus that come to these games, Howard Garfinkel, one of the founders of this game, along with Bob Gagan, they think that this crew right here, Buck, might be the most talented group of kids to come here ever since the inception 29 years ago.
Yep, there's a good chance. I mean, year after year, you're seeing the level of play elevate from these kids.
Showtime.
McCants goes himself and scores. Rashad McCants from New Hampton High School in New Hampton, New Hampshire, headed to North Carolina. Three-pointer attempt by McKinney, no good.
Buck McCants is a great story. You know, he's 6'4", he gets up and down, and you watch him play, he's got a little MJ in his game, which is obviously, you know, some big shoes to fill. But McCants, along with a young man by the name of Raymond Felton, might be the #1 freshman class to come to college over the past 10 years. Those two guys really going to bring North Carolina back to where they used to be.
Garrison hit a short jumper. He's got 11 points. Evan Burns headed to UCLA with 2 3-pointers here. And we'll keep it right here on this timeout with the white team leading 59-37.
You see McCants in the background. I mentioned him and his partner Raymond Felton, another high school All-American who a lot of people believe is going to be very similar to Isaiah Thomas type player. Those two guys coming in as freshmen might be the top freshman guards that we have seen in many, many years. And obviously with Carolina's year, the way they played last year, Matt Doherty welcoming these two guys to come in and play right away.
I mentioned Evan Burns, who hit the 2 3-pointers from Fairfax High School in LA. A growing legend around LA, named All-City first team as a junior. He's been All-State since his freshman year. MVP of the Watts Summer League, helped Fairfax to a top 25 national ranking and the Southern California Division I semifinals.
What I like about Burns is he's 6'7", but he can play that 2-guard spot. You always need those big 2 guards to get up shots when you need them.
Transition ball again, pass knocked away and picked up by Igoudola. Stoudamire in the lane, a lot of contact with no call. McCants misses. Stoudamire way up for the rebound, and he puts it off the glass.
See, that's his game, Buck. He's got a great feel and nose to the ball coming off the rim. Very strong, quick hops, big strong body, and that's one of the reasons why the NBA feels he might be a top 10 pick this June. June 26th.
White team on a 10-0 run. They look to extend that. Alley-oop, and it's knocked away. Jack gets the rebound, loses the ball in the paint. Here's Reddick. 4-on-1. Reddick for 3. Missed it. Rebound to May. McCants goes all the way. Tremendous reverse layup. Rashad McCants. Boy, they're loving that in Chapel Hill.
And if that didn't look like MJ, I'm not too sure what it's going to be. McCants great with the basketball. He's got some big time ups, and he's got great range too, Buck. He's got an MJ type release on his jump shot.
Or the red team just finding a shot blocking machine at the other end. McCants open for the long jumper. Beauty. Rashad McCants is lighting it up here in the first half. And the red team has seen the white go on a 15-0 run.
Hey, man, they fucking us up, man.
Traveling is called on Amare Stoudamire. Time to catch your breath with 5:12 to go here in the first half, and the white leading 66-37 on a 15-0 run.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
Now making a collect call can make you a winner. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, and you can win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race. Just accelerate down the center with 1-800-CALLATT.
20 lucky participants can be matched with starting positions in a Winston. If your driver finishes in the top 3, you're going to win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race of your choice. And every collect call you make with 1-800-CALL-ATT is another chance to become a winner.
Cheater!
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating.
Chris, come on.
The Carl's Jr. Superstar.
Back in Washington at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net. What a half it's been for the white team and Amare Stoudamire, who has 10 points and 10 rebounds in the half, as the white shooting 73%. And the red team just 4 of 16 in the second quarter. That's less than 27%.
You got a guy like Stoudamire parking himself around the basket. Boy, Scott May is so impressive, Buck. 6'8", about 250 pounds. Normally parks himself inside, showing some range today.
Well, you said Scott, and I know that's a Freudian slip because it's Sean.
Did I say Scott?
Yeah, but that's...
You know, that shot looked like his dad. His dad had that big body that could shoot outside. Sean May, another guy going with McCants to North Carolina. How about that recruiting class?
And finally, Delina Azubuike gets a basket to stop this run. May again, he drills another three-pointer. Sean May with 16 first half points.
You think he broke some hearts not signing with Indiana? And they thought he was going to sign since his sophomore year. Decided to go to Carolina.
That's his third three-pointer of the night. A McDonald's All-America. Already been named Indiana Basketball News Player of the Year. Errant pass picked off by the red team. It's Bracy Wright. Anthony pumps from long range. No good. Rebound easily to the white team. And McCants to bring it up. Rashad McCants all the way off the glass left-handed. Pretty play. 14 points in the half for McCants. Three-pointer the other way from Justin Gray.
On his way to Wake Forest, Buck. And he's going to fill a big void in the absence of Broderick Hicks. The Skip Prosser down there at Wake Forest, great point guard.
On and off the court where he's an honor roll student. Nice pass and the conversion by Bracy Wright.
Well, Bracy Wright's going to be at Indiana, and Sean Mays will not join him. So Maurice Hicks on the sidelines.
Nice ball movement by Andre Igoudola from Lanphier High School in Springfield, Illinois. Jack lays it off underneath, lost out of bounds and turned over. Substitutes coming in and a timeout with 2:48 to go here in the first half. And the white team on a 25-5 run.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rain. Welcome to yoga. Reach for the sun or the stars, whatever. Doesn't that feel good? Don't touch them. Okay, here we go. X marks the spot, and the spot is you. Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, bald like the moon. Oh, that feels good. Feel those hearts were there.
Hey, Bunch. Find Inner Peace another time. Instead, check out the pay-per-view wrestling from Dish On Demand.
You want peace of mind? I'll give you a piece of me.
Bringing us closer, making us stronger, impacting our lives in remarkable ways. Tech TV, the new television network about technology. Tech TV, television about technology.
Tech TV is available now on Channel 191.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to our nation's capital, the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net, where the white team has taken control and pumped in 74 points with 2:45 to go until halftime.
We could see a $160 here at the end of the night.
Sean
That
May,
is a lot of points and a half.
16 points for May, and the white team steals it away.
Man, oh man.
14 points for Rashad McCants, and Evan Burns adds to his total as well. 10 points for Burns. And it'll go back to the red team.
Boy, you really can see Evan Burns' ability to run the floor, hit jumpers, block shots.
Anthony inside misses. Look at the ball handling by Gilchrist. Corner knocked away from behind by a red player, and they give it to the red team. The white team has 5 players in double figures with 2 minutes left in the half. 3-point field goal is good by Chris Rogers going to Arizona.
You know, Buck, this year being the first year that Nike has joined the Jordan Brand Capital Classic, you know, there's a lot of different programs that Nike's involved with that I think the folks out there need to know. One of them is a program called Jordan Fundamentals, Buck. And Jordan Fundamentals is a teacher grant program in which Nike donates over $1 million, which is awarded to each year to teachers across the country who demonstrate innovative teaching programs. And that's just tremendous. You know, you talk about the education that's involved. You know, it's not just about basketball and putting a logo on, attaching a logo to the tournament or to these players. It's education, it's character, the spirit of competition.
And rewarding the people that do such a great job with that, the teachers who, when you talk about our heroes, and we obviously know about the firemen and the policemen and the volunteers, teachers are right up there with them. If it weren't for them, none of us would be here.
That's absolutely right. And those guys are the real role models.
All knocked away, recovered by Michael Thompson, who's in the game. Spin move by Thompson is in, and another Duke prospect from Providence Catholic High School in New Lenox, Illinois.
You're hearing some cat calls every time Thompson gets the ball, but I tell you what, he's going to bring some toughness to the front line at Duke next year, especially with Boozer declaring himself eligible for the draft.
Called the foul on Michael Thompson. And it sends Carmelo Anthony to the free throw line. Anthony going to Syracuse. He's from Baltimore, went to Towson Catholic prior to Oak Hill Academy. The Baltimore City Player of the Year his junior season at Towson Catholic. And at Oak Hill this year, MVP of the Le Schwab Invitational in Portland, Oregon, as well as the Primetime Shootout in Trenton, New Jersey. 14 points in the game for Carmelo Anthony. Gilchrist really handles that ball. Here's Garrison underneath. His defenders fell down, and Michael Thompson gets an easy two.
Boy, Thompson's a space eater inside. Real strong upper body. He's got some nice low post moves. Plays hard.
Alina Azabuke with a miss, and Horner the other way. Intercepted. Nice play. Wright goes all the way and slams it in. Gracie Wright, McDonald's All-America, will play for the Hoosiers. And it goes! A fitting end to a first half that saw balls filling up the hoop all night long. Take another look at this. A spectacular way to end a productive first half.
Leaving a nice taste to some of the Maryland, local Maryland fans. They're going to want to see a lot of those at the buzzer. That's a half-court shot.
Gilchrist, the Virginia State Player of the Year. Wow, terrific half for John Gilchrist, who averaged 20 points this year and had 6 tonight, but really ran the show for the white team offensively as they put in 83 points to lead 83-51.
And obviously Gilchrist joining Garrison and Nick Cantor-Medley. What a terrific recruiting class for Maryland.
Well, Adrian Brandt standing by with the head coach of the white team, Stephen Smith. Adrian?
Hey, I'm sitting here with Coach. Coach, boy, they had a dynamite first half. What are you going to tell them in halftime to carry it over to the second half?
Well, if we can shoot the ball like that another half, we'll be fine. And I thought we played pretty well defensively for an all-star game. Started with our guards out top. They pressured the basketball, stayed in front, contested most of those three-point shots that the red team put up, and once again, we shot the lights out.
Now, you're doing this without your player, your other player, your player that played the regular season on the other team. Wow.
I tried to tell my guys how to guard Carmelo because he's a tough guy to play, and he got some shots early and he got to the rim a few times, but I think we're doing a good job on him too.
Great job, Coach. Have a great half. Back to you guys.
Steve Smith, who in 17 years at Oak Hill Academy has a 94% winning mark, with a record of 501-32. Halftime at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Property owners, if weeds and brush are taking over your land, at last there is a solution. The amazing DR Field and Brush Mower can reclaim overgrown parts of your property with less work than you ever dreamed possible. Now, if you've ever tried to clear an overgrown field or ditch with a handheld brush cutter or a shaky sickle bar mower, you know they're exhausting to use. Take hold of a DR Field and Brush Mower, though, and you've got a whole different story. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 2 inches thick and chops most everything it cuts, so there's no tangle of vegetation to trip over or to pick up. So why let weeds and brush take over? Call now for complete details about the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower. You can try out a DR Field and Brush Mower for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-469-9797 for your free DR catalog and video. That's 1-800-469-9797.
I think when you look at the NFL Europe, the one thing you're going to see is that they're playing to win. It's going to be very competitive. You know, a lot of times people talk about money being the motivator, but really it isn't. You know, people that play this game are playing it for the pride. Whether you're playing in the National Football League, you're playing in NFL Europe, you know, you get down to the championship game, you're seeing guys lay it on the line. And I think that's what it's about.
Frankfurt battles Barcelona, Saturday on Fox Sports Net.
Halftime in Washington at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net, where the white team has amassed 83 points in the first half, and they lead the red 83-51. Steve Buckhantz, and joining me here at halftime, the Vice President of Sports Marketing for the Jordan Brand Howard White And Howard, to watch these kids each year, it's amazing because it appears that this could be the best year we've ever seen in 29 years of the Capital Classic.
Well, see, I'm telling you what, they have some phenomenal talent. I mean, it's tough to discount when you talk about back when Adrian Branch and Michael Jordan. But I think each generation, you know, they get bigger, they get stronger, they're quicker. That's amazing. You're probably right. In the 29 years, this may be the cream of the crop.
You guys at Jordan Brand and Nike and Michael Jordan getting involved in this situation have helped to elevate this game, as Michael does when he steps on the court. We've seen that all around the country this year. But it also gets players more involved here in Washington. The players have gotten out. They've visited sick children at Children's Hospital. They've seen the Vietnam Memorial, and they've been all over the town. So it's really an education. This is some of the video of some of these youngsters interacting with the sick children, and you know, you have to really applaud the effort of these kids to come out. It's not just a trip to play basketball; it's much more than that.
Yeah, what we've tried to do is replicate somewhat what Michael Jordan has done throughout his career. You know, he gives back, he works hard in the community. So, and we want them to know it's just not about your physical talent. It's what you share and give to others, how you can uplift others. And, you know, it's just not what you do alone on the basketball court. It's how you, what we've noticed about Michael is every team he's played for, he's made other people better. And that's what we're trying to instill in these young guys.
Perfect example was this year's Washington Wizards. Jordan played 60 games.
Wow.
The team went 30-30. They won 36 games after winning just 19 last year. And along with Doug Collins, they've really elevated the play. So he's done that really, as you said, everywhere he's been.
It's phenomenal. Having been around him since he's been in the league, he has such a dedication and a work ethic that's, you know, par excellence. And he not only works hard, as I tried to explain to these guys, in game situations, but he works like that in practice.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you really learn what to do is you practice like you play, and that's what he does.
As you see some of these young players, and this is a high school game, you almost tend to forget that because it looks like a college or a professional game. But as some of these players go towards college, there is the concern now that many of them aren't thinking enough about an education. They're thinking more about getting into college and getting right out to the NBA. Some of them passing up college altogether. Correct. How do you feel about that, Howard?
Well, you know, I think every situation is different. Michael spoke to them yesterday, and he made it a point to say that the education part was important because he felt half of these guys would be playing professional basketball. The others would need something to fall back on. My point is that I think that, you know, if it continues and continues, I don't know anyone that education has hurt. And the people that you become and you get around when you go to college, you're going to have some of those people to be doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs. One of my best friends in the world today, you know, Jim O'Brien, president of a mortgage banking company, Harvey Sanders, CEO of Nordica. You know, those relationships go on for life. But you don't get that when you don't go to college. And so college has such an important value.
We talked about how Michael elevates everyone else's game. What kind of impression does he make on the kids when he comes, watches them practice? I mean, when he walks into the gym, even in practice, their level of play is elevated.
Oh, it goes up. It goes up tremendously. They have such a high respect for Michael. And after he spoke to them, it was amazing that he said, "Are there any questions?" They sat there in awe. And that's it. You have the best player on the planet, and no one has a question. And after they got warmed up, they could have stayed all night asking questions because he was so gracious to, you know, give them honest answers that they would need in life.
You often can't get close enough to know what he's like, but he's a very down-to-earth guy. Howard White, thank you very much for joining
It's my pleasure, man.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Halftime here in Washington at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic, where the white team leads the red by 32 points. You're watching the Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Honey, my car won't start. Bye. I just spilled coffee all over my boss. Okay, I just lost a heel. That's it. I'm going home.
No matter what. You're crazy about your girlfriend, so why not make every day special with beautiful flowers? Or add a little sweetness with this bear in a bee suit with honey candy. And celebrate right with our birthday flower cake.
Thank you. I love them.
So give someone special something special from 1-800-Flowers.com. Call, click, or come into 1-800-Flowers.com.
If you love working outdoors around your property, but hate all the heavy hauling that goes with it, call now for free details of the amazing self-propelled DR Power Wagon. The DR hauls up to 800 pounds, uphill, through soft, wet soil, and over all sorts of rough terrain. So if you haul firewood, rocks, or practically anything, call now 1-800-408-0505 for your free DR Power Wagon catalog.
Bring Hollywood home with Starz Super PAC. With more new hit movies than HBO or Showtime. See what you've been missing. The most new hit movies for the money on Dish Network. New hit movies you'll see only on Starz Super PAC. Not on HBO. Not on Showtime. Order now. 8 great movie channels for only $11.99 a month. You'll get the most new hit movies for the money with Starz Super PAC. New hit movies like Pearl Harbor, Jurassic Park 3, The Mummy Returns, and more. Call 1-866-839-8168 today, because nobody brings Hollywood home like Starz Super PAC.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Halftime in Washington. The Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net, where the white team is out in front of the red team 83-51. Steve Buckhands with Glenn Consor. It has been a run-and-gun affair tonight, Glenn. And we are seeing some impressive play by these young players, who many of whom are headed to higher education before they hit the NBA.
5 guys in double figures, 83 points and a half, Buck. That's not shabby. These guys are going up and down.
The 29th Annual Capital Classic halftime stats and highlights. Brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Well, we saw a lot of white highlights, many of them coming from Evan Burns. In the transition game, just terrific. I love the way he runs the floor. The white team did a great job on defense, which is what enabled them to extend their lead. Michael Thompson on his way to Duke. Terrific player. Terrific low post player, runs the floor as well. McCants showing an MJ-like jump shot from the wing. And Sean May, 6'8", 255, normally parks himself inside, can make the three-point shot. McCants not only makes threes, but he got some shake to his game. And then the red team had a few highlights themselves. Carmelo Anthony, the high-rise game. Nice little dish inside. Anthony's so impressive, Buck, because he's 6'8", and Gilchrist ended the half with a big-time shot.
Good crowd at the MCI Center. The place where Michael Jordan has pretty much lived for most of this season. On this very floor where the Washington Wizards play. And Michael was here yesterday to talk to these youngsters and get them ready for the game that he has put his brand, if you will, on. And we take a look at the 1-800-CALL-ATT first half statistics.
Well, obviously kicking up 83 points is going to come up with some astounding numbers. How about this? 10 for 14 from 3, which is amazing. But just a ton of shots, shooting 58% from the floor is the white team. Red team not too bad at 37%.
And look at the rebounds, Glenn. 42 rebounds in the first half by the white team.
A lot of those on the offensive end.
17 assists as well for the white, and they are dominating here. 83-51 as we get set for third quarter action at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here at Fox Sports Net. Stay tuned, third quarter action coming up.
I like the most about the DR chipper is the quality. This is a first-rate, what I would call industrial strength piece of machinery for a private homeowner.
The DR chipper is a wonderful machine. I can put a 20-foot long tree in it. It'll take the whole thing without bogging down.
DR chipper will do a heavy wood, a soft wood. I've done cherry, hollies, oaks. It does the job, and that's basically what people are going to put their money up. That's what they want. Something's going to do the job and do a good job, and that's DR.
You can try out a DR chipper for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-323-9300 for your free DR chipper catalog and video. There's no obligation, so call now, 1-800-323-9300.
On the next Beyond the Glory, Dale Jarrett traded loyalty for opportunity.
Dale Jarrett left Joe Gibbs. Why would you do that?
But his life was nearly cut short by a devastating accident.
Oh my gosh, he'll never walk again.
And his success didn't come without sacrifices.
Wasn't being a good husband, wasn't being a good father.
It's the Dale Jarrett you didn't know. Dale Jarrett, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Halftime in Washington at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net, where the white team dominating the red team 83-51. Best players in the country are on hand here tonight, including Travis Garrison, who averages 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks at DeMatha High School in nearby Hyattsville, Maryland. And Adrian Branch standing by with Travis's mom. Adrian?
We've got Mom here. Mom, Travis won the city title. University of Maryland won a national title. He's playing out here in the red and white game. How do you feel about all the hoopla?
I feel very good, and I'm proud of Travis. He's come a long way, and he's a good kid. I'm just happy for him. This is his senior year, and to come out with MVP and city title, and of course with Maryland going to the Final Four last year, this year, and championship.
Now, is that the coach coming out you or the mom coming out you?
Both.
Both. All right, do you hear from a proud mother? We're going to give it back to you guys.
Proud indeed, and she should be. Travis Garrison named MVP of every tournament DeMatha played in, including the Adolph Rupp Classic in Kentucky. Travis playing well tonight. Going to Maryland, a McDonald's All-America. And we are underway here in the third quarter. Steve Buckhantz with Glenn Consor and Adrian Branch from the MCI Center. Tipped up and in by Stoudamire, but it won't count because he's over the back. And a foul is called on Amare Stoudamire.
You know, Buck, I had a chance to see these two teams scrimmage at a private practice yesterday. And these guys were going about 10 minutes and going at it, going up and down like we saw. And all of a sudden, Jordan walks into the gym. And the level of play totally changed. They went from about 80 miles an hour to about 120 miles per hour. They started playing defense, taking charges, blocking shots. I started writing faster. My pen broke. His presence is just tremendous. And all these guys wanted to impress him as well.
Gavlik Randolph, who is going to Duke with a nice steal. Stoudamire inside. Ball kicked around and stolen by the red team, and then a foul is committed. And it is charged to Andre Igoudola. And the red team will get it back. D. Brown pumps up a three-pointer. And D, who will play at Illinois. All-state and defending conference player of the year, extremely quick. But look at that, Stoudamire just pulled it off the glass, gets another rebound, and this time he is fouled. Well, he is almost a man amongst boys. Wow.
And that's why the projections right now are saying that this young man might be a top 10 pick, Buck. So strong underneath, live body, good ups, tenacious rebounder.
Amare Stoudamire from Cypress Creek High in Orlando. misses the free throw. He's got 10 points and 13 rebounds. Mr. Basketball in that state, one of 10 finalists for the Naismith Award. And as we mentioned, he is committed to Memphis, but he wants to go pro, and that is what he is envisioning for his immediate future.
And John Calipari, I'm sure, would like him to change his mind, get him over to Memphis. They got some good players out there. DeJuan Wagner obviously weighing his options right now in Memphis.
Traveling called on the white team. Red team gets it back. White team coached by Steve Smith from Oak Hill Academy, assisted by Herman Hareed and Leonard Bishop. Nice move in the paint and the score.
Carmelo Anthony, just the total package. He's got everything. He's got quickness, strength, could play with his back to the basket. He can shoot threes, he can take you off the bounce. There's nothing he can't do.
16 points in the game for Carmelo Anthony. He's another one that went to Oak Hill Academy in Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, which is a couple hours from the Washington area. Stoudamire throws it up and scores. Talk about all the pro players that came out of Oak Hill Academy. That's rejected by Stoudamire. Ron Mercer, Rod Strickland, Jerry Stackhouse. Stoudamire lays it up and in. They all went to Oak Hill Academy for their senior year.
Steve Smith has done a tremendous job at Oak Hill Academy. 4 national championships for Steve Smith, 1994 and 1999. He was voted the USA National Coach of the Year. 15 years at Oak Hill Academy. You're talking about a guy that could develop talent too.
16 of his players have been chosen McDonald's All-America, and 15 of the kids have gone on to be NBA draft picks.
Tremendous. Truly a breeding ground for the NBA at like a prep school level, which is so unusual.
So almost like a minor league for the NBA. Jarrett Jack spins, gives it off to May, who lays it up and in. Despite the collision underneath. That sent Greg Bruner to the floor. No call. 18 points for May. Here's Randolph, and he gets fouled. And Shavlik Randolph, who will take his talents to Duke, will go to the line to shoot 2.
What a recruiting class Coach K has brought in. And this young man is really the leader of that pack. Actually established a relationship with J.J. Reddick. They were actually roommates on a number of AAU teams. Obviously, Randolph decided to go to Duke, pulled in Reddick. They have one of the top recruiting classes in the country. J.J. Reddick actually coming off the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game at Madison Square Garden. He threw up 26 points.
And they'll give it to the white team, Shavlik Randolph, who played at Broughton High in Raleigh, following in the footsteps of Pistol Pete Maravich, who also played a season at Broughton in Raleigh. And Shavlik, earning Conference Player of the Year as a sophomore, was the first player to do that since Pistol Pete was awarded the honor. Stoudamire off the glass and in.
Big time elevation in the paint. He's got great legs, Buck. Not only that strong upper body, but his legs are tremendously strong.
17 points, 13 rebounds. He comes up with a steal. No relation to Damon Stoudamire. Alley-oop! And the score to Andre Igoudola.
How about the pass from May? You know, May's doing it all. He's making threes. He's scoring inside. He's throwing alley-oop passes. Complete player.
D. Brown throws one up, no good, and Jack has the rebound. Andre Igoudola, who is undecided but leaning towards Arizona.
Well, he originally signed with Arkansas, and then when Nolan Richardson ran into some issues at Arkansas and decided to leave, Igoudola pulled out as well.
Justin Gray is called for a foul underneath. And we'll get a couple of subs in the game. Alexander Johnson back in for the red team. And Denham Brown checks in for the white team. 94-61. The white All-Stars have led the entire way.
Boy, there's some serious talent playing in this game. 12 McDonald's All-Americans. Jordan Brand Classic. You know, these kids had some experience coming here to Washington, D.C. as Mr. Jack's one up.
Jared Jack, nicely done off the glass. He's got 4 points.
These kids came here to D.C. and had a chance to visit Children's Hospital in D.C. Also visit a number of the memorials, the Lincoln Memorial, Vietnam Memorial. Had a chance to go to see one of your games, Buck, in 76ers Wizards games.
On this very floor.
Wizards won that game.
Yes, they did.
Somewhat of a fine victory, with especially for guys like Eitan Thomas having a big game and Kwame Brown coming on strong at the end of the year. Really, the youth movement with the Wizards are promising.
Well, Doug Collins getting a look at those players now. Brendan Haywood, another rookie from North Carolina for that Wizards team. Here's D. Brown in the paint. Short jumper. That's goaltending called on Stoudamire. And with 7:47 to go in the third period, a timeout on the floor. The white team leading 96-63, the Jordan Brand Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Our client needed a ride home and did the right thing. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
He needed a ride. He had nothing to hide.
Don't start that, Johnny.
He knew he could save on every call.
Who did he call?
His best friend.
You can't blame the guy. The girl is fly.
He dialed right down the center, 1-800-CALLATT.
The defense rests. If he needs a friend, he'll do it again. If the car gets stuck...
Come on, before she lock us up. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. It's free for you and cheap for them.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
To find you, I gotta give up all I have. To find you, I'd suffer anything and be glad. I call that a bargain, the best I ever had.
The Nissan Frontier Crew Cab Long Bed. No matter how you look at it, it's the next frontier. It's time you had the best.
I ever had.
Nissan, driven by Southern California.
Well, it was 3 years ago in 1999 when the U.S. All-Stars were led by Jason Williams in this game, the future Duke star, and 1999 McDonald's National Player of the Year, directing the Stars to a 20-2 first quarter pasting of the Capital All-Stars. Williams with 27 points named the U.S. All-Star MVP, but it was another young man by the name of Chris Monroe who would go on to score 22 points and amazingly rally the Capital All-Stars to a 125-113 victory. Monroe on to George Washington University and named the Capital All-Star most valuable player for that game. Inside, Hassan Adams scores.
At a good Council High School, Wheaton, Maryland.
Baseline jumper is good for Jared Jack. 7 points in the game for Jack. Nice pass underneath, but before the shot goes up, a whistle and a foul.
Jared Jack's an interesting story, Buck. Played at Mount Zion Academy as a junior and averaged 33 points a game, and transferred to Worcester Academy. And he's just a very versatile player. Big guard, big point guard, 6'3", 6'4". Paul Hewitt likes those big point guards that like to go up and down, and I think he's got a good one, and he's got a nice stroke too.
Jack, a Street and Smith All-America. Great pass underneath, and converting the shot is Denham Brown. Gray the other way, has it blocked by Burns. Up ahead, Brown, and he's fouled. 7,473 on hand here tonight at the MCI Center for this Jordan Brand Capital Classic. The white team has dominated, leading 101-65. And now Denham Brown, who you mentioned in the first half, once scored 110 points.
111.
111, sorry.
Can't forget that foul shot.
Didn't want to short him one. 111 in a single game. And the best player that Canada had to offer this year, and he's a good one.
Maybe ever.
Maybe ever. Steve Nash might argue with you on that, but this guy's something very special. Brown the other way and lays it in. He gets up and down quickly.
Yes, he does. And you think about him and Rashad McCants going to UConn next year along with Okafor and Ben Gordon. That's a young team that's going to be strong again.
Jared Jack comes out of the game and is replaced by John Gilchrist. And Maurice Hicks will counter with Reddick and Azubuike. 104-67. 6:25 to play in the third quarter from Washington.
Correction, Buck. I said Rashad McCants and Rashad Anderson. Rashad McCants is going to North Carolina. I don't want Matt Doherty being angry with me now.
Okay. Foul inside. And I believe shots will be taken. Foul called on Hassan Adams. Here's another look.
Boy, Michael Thompson is tough. We're going to barrel his way in. Goes up nice and strong, and you think about how much playing time he's going to get next year for Duke. I think it's going to be a lot. Obviously helping out in the absence of Boozer, who's declared himself eligible for the draft. You have Casey Sanders.
There you go.
Inside for Duke, along with Dunleavy. His presence is going to be desperately needed inside. Good recruit for Mike Krzyzewski.
Kalina Azubuike scores inside.
I was going to say Casey Jacobson. Stanford.
Long three-pointer from Jeff Horner. We'll take that three-point shooting talent to Iowa next year. First player in 4A Iowa history to score over 2,000 points at Mason City High School.
And Iowa loses Luke Recker this year, so they're going to rely heavily on his outside shooting. Steve Alford, well, he was a great shooter himself.
Sure was. Michael Thompson picks up a foul right there. And the red team gets it back. Trailing 108-69. Azubuike knocks in another one. And the forward from Victory Christian High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Azubuike is a great story, Buck. He's actually his dad is a doctor and he's a physical fitness nut. Gets up at 4 in the morning, works out, eats oatmeal almost every day. Really takes care of his body. Tremendous athlete.
Hey, I ate oatmeal almost every day as a youngster. And
you didn't look like that? Is that what you're saying?
Didn't and don't.
Yeah, but you're not eating oatmeal. You're not getting up at 4 in the morning working out. Buck.
Maybe that's what it was, the 4 in the morning
You
thing.
forgot to work out. You just got up at 4 and 8. That's the difference. You went back to sleep. Woo.
Horner takes the jumper and knocks in another three-pointer. All-conference selection since his freshman year, and all-state since he was a sophomore, and Horner has 11 points tonight.
And Horner and Bruner both played together on an AAU team in Waterloo, Iowa, the Martin Brothers select team, which was a terrific AAU team, and both of those guys end up going to college together at Iowa.
Great pass inside, the follow-up and in. Boy, that was a nice result from hard work for the red team on offense. Red team coming the other way. Boy, there's a lot of contact in this game. You have to be physically strong in this game tonight.
And that's the difference, you know. You think about some of the players that have played here in the past. Even when MJ was a high school player, he wasn't built the way some of these guys are built now coming into this game. Very thin, very slight. Remember, you always see on ESPN and Fox Sports Net the jump shot that Jordan hit against Georgetown. And you look at his upper body, he was thin as a freshman.
Outside jumper by McKinney, no good. Rebound up and in by Azubuike.
And all these guys are built so strong upper bodies.
Rejected out of bounds. And a timeout on the floor. 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. And the white team leads the red 111-75 on Fox Sports Net.
Now making a collect call can make you a winner. Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, and you can win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race. Just accelerate down the center with 1-800-CALLATT.
20 lucky participants can be matched with starting positions in a Winston. If your driver finishes in the top 3, you're going to win a trip for 2 to a NASCAR race of your choice. And every collect call you make with 1-800-CALL-ATT is another chance to become a winner.
Cheater!
You've got an incredible selection of channels with Dish Network, and we've got them organized for you. Here's the lineup. Channels in the 100s and 200s offer general programming. In the 300s, you'll find premium movie channels like HBO and Showtime. The 500s feature pay-per-view movies. You'll find great music channels in the 900s, and local TV stations are in the 8,000 range. So now you know what's where on Dish Network.
1 out of every 3 seniors will have a serious fall this year. When you fall, your chances of reaching a phone are very unlikely. Don't risk injury, ending up in a nursing facility, losing your home and independence. Life Alert can help. Push this pendant, and Life Alert Security Center will summon the help you need, fast.
Call toll-free 1-800-423-9900 to get your free information about Life Alert. Call now, 1-800-423-9900.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
3:34 to go in the third quarter at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net. Steve Buckhantz with Glenn Consor and Adrian Branch. Crowd of over 7,000 here at the MCI Center to see some of the best talent in America on display tonight, like this guy Horner, who finally misses one. He's knocked down a couple of long shots. Follow up and in. Denham Brown gets another basket. 12 points for Denham Brown in the game. Stolen away inside by Gilchrist. Horner finds the trailer, and shots will be taken as Evan Burns was nailed, and you could hear the slapping of the flesh as he went to the iron.
Boy, you gotta love the way he gets up and down the floor. Great vertical speed, 6'7". He's got small forward skills. He could also play some guard at UCLA next year. Very impressed with this young man.
He helped Fairfax High School to a top 25 national ranking. Burns with 10 points in the first half. And with that free throw has 11. Michael Thompson comes out of the game for the white team. And Burns will try another from the free throw line. 115-75. Air ball thrown up by Hassan Adams. Gilchrist open from the top and drills a three-pointer for John Gilchrist. 9 points in the game for him.
You know, Buck, watching these guys, one thing that jumps out at me is that everyone runs the floor. You know, in the old days, it was really like the guards and the small forwards getting up and down, you know, in these all-star games. And now it's everybody. It doesn't matter how tall you are or how small you are. You're going up and down, and you got to be able to run to play. because if you don't run, you know, you're just going to get beat down the floor. All these kids have the ability to run and jump and have great strength.
Play whistle down as Jimmy McKinney drives. And a foul called on Gilchrist. Will give the red team the ball, well, shoot free throws.
Yeah, he's going to go to the line for 2 in the act of shooting, Buck. McKinney's an interesting player. You know, a lot of these kids are specialists. Three-point shooters, great in the transition game, good leapers, but McKinney's got a terrific mid-range game. He gets in around 10 feet, 8 feet, makes shots. Somewhat of the forgotten game.
Jimmy was the floor general for Vashon High School in St. Louis. Finished in the USA Today top 10. He was All-State, All-Metro, two-time Missouri Player of the Year. Basket is good, and another foul called on the white team.
Red team basket 34, Aaron Spears, followed by 25, Travis Garrison. Spears at the line.
And Aaron Spears, who just checks into the game, will go to the line. Spears makes the free throw, so nicely done by the red team. 5 points in the game for Aaron Spears. 2:20 to play, third quarter. Gilchrist, heck of a move, can't get the finger roll, tip no good. Gilchrist is blocked, and they'll call a foul on Spears. Pace of this game is spectacular, and the physicality of it is great as well.
You really can see how quick Gilchrist is off the bounce. Great first step. Likes the little shake and bake move and gets in the paint. That's what I saw in some of the practices, his ability to get in the paint and find open people. And he's going to be a great one at Maryland.
Virginia State Player of the Year down in Virginia Beach at Salem High School. All-State first team. Nice pass from Horner and an easy lay-in for Travis Garrison.
Well, Jeff Horner's a very solid player. He makes shots. If he gets his feet squared, he's gonna nail jump shots. But I also like his floor vision. Very solid, complete player.
Burns goes all the way, lays it off the glass.
I love him. He just is phenomenal. He's a glider too. He's not overly explosive. He just gets it done.
Nice follow on the boards. Azubuike. Gilchrist again gets slapped on the arm by Chris Rogers. 1:18 to play in the third quarter from Washington at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic here on Fox Sports Net. Adams the rebound, up ahead to Rogers, dishes off inside, and a nice play by Jimmy McKinney.
Rogers with a ghost fake. I almost went for it, Buck.
You're still here, though.
I left my seat, though. I thought I was open on the wing.
Burns double team to Horner. Back to Burns on the fadeaway, a little short. Azubuike the other way. One of the few times tonight that we've seen an actual half-court set.
One of the few times we've seen more than 3 passes in an offensive set.
That hasn't resulted in a slam dunk.
That's right.
Look at Gilchrist.
Shaking and baking.
Shot clock is off. Horner, nice pass underneath. Brown blocked from behind, gets his own rebound. Fade away, no good. Tip up and no good. And that is the end of 3 quarters of fast-paced basketball in Washington. White team leads the red 124-85 at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
Property owners, if weeds and brush are taking over your property, call 1-800-437-5353 to learn how you can try out a DR field and brush mower for 30 days risk-free. The DR works like a big tractor-mounted brush mower, but in a walk-behind version that's easier to handle and a lot less expensive. So if parts of your land are too overgrown for any ordinary mower, call now for free details about the amazing DR field and brush mower.
Honey, my car won't start. Bye. I just spilled coffee all over my boss. Okay, I just lost a heel. That's it. I'm going home.
No matter what, you're crazy about your girlfriend. So why not make every day special with beautiful flowers? Or add a little sweetness with this bear in a bee suit with honey candy. And celebrate right with our birthday flower cake.
Thank you. I love them.
So give someone special something special from 1-800-Flowers.com. Call, click, or come into 1-800-Flowers.com.
It's a possible conference finals preview. Chris Webber and the Run and Gun Kings are out to prove they're the team to beat out west. But Shaq and the Lakers know that the road to the crown still goes through LA. The NBA's best battle it out. Kings-Lakers, Wednesday at 7.
Jarrett Jack at the other end. Long bounce pass for Mays. Long jumper for three, no good. Garrison the follow, he missed it.
Boy, May's shot looks pretty, even if he misses. He's got that great form, soft hands.
And a foul called on Stoudamire. And we shoot 1 and 1. A little better than 9 minutes to go here in regulation, 134-89. The white team has led the entire way here tonight. And Carmelo Anthony to the free throw line. He will play at Syracuse next year. Maybe the most talented player of the bunch.
I think so. Jim Boeheim's got a beauty in him because losing Preston Shumpert, one of the leading scorers in the East, terrific player. I saw him down at Portsmouth. Carmelo Anthony's going to step right in and really, how do you guard him? Who do you put on Carmelo Anthony? Put a big guy? You put a guard on him?
Yeah. Stoudamire goes inside. He draws a foul. Nobody's been able to guard him tonight. Anthony with 24 points in the game to lead all scorers. But this guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with as well, Glenn. Amare Stoudamire, 6'10", 245.
However, if he does jump to the NBA, Buck, I'm not too sure he's going to be a force right away. I think he's going to need some time. I think he's going to need some time to develop his inside game, his skills, his low post moves, drop step, you know, getting the shoulder, ducking underneath, little jump hooks. I think all those things have to come. He does have the strength, however.
Well, and as Phil Chenier said at halftime, the mental aspect of the game as well, not just the physical. There's a whole lot that goes into it.
Right.
You jump from one level, high school, to a totally different level, as we've seen this year from Kwame Brown and Tyson Chandler.
That's a good call. And you're right. You think about all the young players. Jop that got drafted last year, Curry, Chandler, Kwame Brown as well. It's taken them a long time. It's taken them quite a bit of time to develop those skills.
And they're still developing them.
And contribute right away.
Justin Gray hits a three-pointer. 9 points in the game for Justin Gray, who will play at Wake Forest next year.
And you know, Buck, that's one of the reasons that the NCAA right now, how about McCants with some great hops, but the NCAA right now is evaluating a new rule where a player can get drafted, but he can decide to play in college.
What do you think about that?
I'm not too sure about that one. What do you think?
Well, I don't particularly like it, but it's a decision that these guys wrestle with, and certainly it's one that lasts for life once you decide to leave college now.
You know, I remember back in, I think it was 1978 or 1977, as you see Anthony take you off the floor 6'7" quick. I remember 1977, I believe it was, when Red Auerbach pulled that loophole and drafted Larry Bird as a junior, because he had been in college for 4 years but still had 1 year of eligibility left. And that was a loophole back then. And Larry Bird went back and played at Indiana State, became a household word. And obviously, how about that move?
Stoudamire up strong and slams it in coast to coast.
Man, almost took down half the MCI center.
Gray, beautiful pass over his shoulder for Anthony, and he scores.
But you know, Buck, I'm not too sure that won't work. If these kids declare early and someone drafts them and then decide to go back to college for a year, if it could help them and if it could benefit the college and the student, I think it's a good thing.
Justin Gray with another field goal. 140 to 100. Gray with 12 points.
Because where are you going to benefit most? Are you going to benefit playing a lot in college for 1 year, or are you going to benefit sitting on a bench in the NBA?
Playing a lot in college, I would think. McCants up strong, and he scores. It's tough sometimes to tell that to some of these young men who see the big dollar signs and want to try to take advantage of it.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Gray in the lane hits another one, and he's got quick points, 14 for Justin Gray. Jared Jack clangs one.
But you know, Buck, I really think that the educational aspect of sending these kids to college just to grow emotionally, academically, develop some character is so important for their own personal growth. I'm not too sure you could do that hanging around with 30-year-olds, with families.
Follow slam is a beauty from May. 22 points and 7 rebounds for Sean May. Long jumper by Justin Gray, who's got 17 points. May inside scores again.
How about that ball handling ability by Stoudamire?
And an interception by Jared Jack, who goes all the way and slams it in. We are seeing talent personified on display here tonight.
I am incredibly impressed with Stoudamire's ability to put it on the floor. I didn't see that in 2 days in practice, Buck. I just saw him down on the low post.
Gray takes another jumper and misses. Stoudamire up high to strip it away. Alley-oop for McCants. Oh, he's off the glass to Stoudamire. Show me those highlights all night long.
Now, I could be mistaken, but I think his head was up by the rim on that dunk.
Another interception. McCants going all the way.
Man, oh man, we're getting a good show here now. This is getting good.
47-point lead. Oh, the passing sensational. Stoudamire in and out, no good.
I haven't seen anyone go through someone else's legs in a long, long time. Man, oh man.
Jared Jack
is jacking them up. He is jacking these guys up. Holy moly. Jack put the ball through the legs of Bruner, then faked it around the back pass, looked one way, threw it the other way. He's giving everyone fives in the crowd. Look. Oh, he's having a good time. Man, oh man.
We'll show it to you again after this free throw. Here's another look.
Jared Jack. He actually went through the legs here. Watch this. Through the legs of Bruner. Around the back fake one way. Look at this play. The only thing missing is Curly Neal and the Globetrotters on that play.
Spectacular ball handling by Jared Jack from Worcester Academy. Boy, will they love him in Atlanta. 4:59 to go in this one. And the white team in control, 153 to 105 at the Jordan Brand Capital Classic on Fox Sports Net.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, And we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates. There is none better.
I'm bored.
How you doing, little man?
I want to go home, but my big brother's too busy flirting with girls.
Not exactly what you had in mind for fun, huh? Now, when you want to get home, always remember to dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. You can save on every call. Just dial right down the center, 1-800-CALL-ATT. You know the boy's car is really a skateboard, right? Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. It's free for you and cheap for them.
Snap, it's down, he hits it. It's blocked. It's blocked. The try was blocked. The game is over. The snap. He's back to throw. Looking. Morgan hits him. And the Bruins have won it.
2 legendary teams. 1 legendary challenge. The Lexus Gauntlets. Thrown by your Southern California Lexus dealer.
Back in Washington, watch the ball handling of Jarrett Jack.
And he is just doing some things that I haven't seen. This is the Harlem Globetrotters right here. Jack just doing a great job making some insane moves.
Chris Rogers gets his own miss. Alley-oop the other way and the slam. Evan Burns, 16 points in the game for him. He's going to UCLA.
We add another 4 minutes onto this game, Buck. These guys might hit 200.
We had another 4 minutes on. We're going to be having breakfast here. It has been fast-paced, but it has been entertaining. Boy, the talent on the floor here, you can't believe that these kids are in high school.
It's exciting. It really is an honor and a privilege to see these guys. Such a young age, tremendous athletic ability. Getting them early.
48-point lead for the white team. Ball knocked away, saved by May. Great pass underneath again, and the reverse layup from John Gilchrist. 13 points for Gilchrist. Igoudola the rebound, May the other way, and he scores off the glass. "26 points in the game for Sean May. And a steal by May. Gilchrist all the way, lays it off, stolen away. Up ahead of the pack is D. Brown. Lays it up for the alley-oop slam for Hassan Adams. 9 points for Adams.
These guys are having fun now, as we are, just to watch this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just to sit back and watch this, it just kind of mesmerizes you with the ball handling ability, the leaping ability.
You catch yourself with your mouth open some of the time.
And we can't do that, Buck.
Oh, what was that?
Come on. I'm leaving.
Gilchrist bounced it off his knees.
I'm getting out of here.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. He was dribbling it with his knees up and down the floor.
That was ridiculous.
You got to be kidding me.
Evan Burns misses. D. Brown the rebound.
I have never seen that.
Not on purpose.
I have never seen that one. He's got fingers coming out of his knees.
Igoudola to Gilchrist for an easy slam. To say it's run and gun here is the understatement. Another beautiful pass. Boy, this is unbelievable.
Man.
These guys are talented young athletes. 2:10 to go in the fourth quarter. 161 to 113. Oh my goodness. Gilchrist putting on a show. Lays it off underneath for Burns. Slam.
Come on. Buck, you're going to have to take this over the rest of it. I can't. I'm going to have to leave. I've seen enough. This is just unbelievable and tremendous performance.
He might have to go out west and form a trio of Siegfried, Roy, and Gilchrist.
The only thing missing is the Tigers.
timeout with 1:43 to go in the game. A standing ovation from this crowd at the MCI Center on Fox Sports Net.
To be the best, to master your profession, requires experience, concentration, and we should mention a good measure of talent. Witten Laser Eye Associates are masters of laser vision correction. Witten Laser Eye Associates, there is none better.
The thing I like the most about the DR chipper is the quality. This is a first-rate, what I would call industrial strength piece of machinery for a private homeowner.
The DR chipper is a wonderful machine. I can put a 20-foot long tree in it. It'll take the whole thing without bogging down.
DR chipper will do a heavy wood, a soft wood. I've done cherry, hollies, oaks. It does the job, and that's basically what people are going to put their money up. That's what they want. Something's going to do the job and do a good job, and that's DR.
You can try out a DR chipper for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-323-9300 for your free DR chipper catalog and video. There's no obligation, so call now, 1-800-323-9300.
Well, tonight's 29th annual Capital Classic stat of the game is sponsored by the United States Navy, and the white team has hit 16 of 24 three-pointers, and they've shared the wealth. 4 players with 3 three-pointers: Horner, Burns, McCants, and May.
And I think the stat of the game is they got 163 points.
That's a heck of a stat.
Come on. Guys dribbling off their knees and on their shoulder and hip.
And the amazing thing about Gilchrist, which we pointed out earlier, he's such a great ball handler, commits just 1 turnover a game.
Right.
And averages 8 assists. Alley-oop to May, couldn't handle it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if he continues to dribble off his knee, he's going to average more than 1 turnover a game.
Well, and then when his career is over, he can join Ringling Brothers.
Oh, man.
The AT&T play of the game right here. Watch that, off his knees. Are you kidding me?
See, now I've dribbled off my knee, but it was not on purpose.
That was 3 or 4 times, not just once. That was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in a basketball game.
That was sick. That was really insane.
Pass thrown out of bounds as we have 49 seconds to play. The white team en route to a big victory here tonight, 163-121. What a display of talent this has been here at the MCI Center in Washington.
And it's been a show. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Also getting a chance to see some terrific young players.
Premier talent.
And their abilities.
Like that, the pass. Igoudola scores. Nice look from Horner off the pass from May. Shot clock is off. Reddick takes the long jumper and misses. Up ahead and an interception. Carmelo Anthony, who's been terrific tonight. 27 points for Anthony. Igoudola the other way slams it in. And that's going to do it.
That's a fitting way to end this game.
The 2002 Jordan Brand Capital Classic has come to an end. Carmelo Anthony with 27. 167-121 for Glenn Consor, Steve Buckhantz. So long from Washington.